Yeah, well, you know what it is. You know what it is. It's the best podcast. Okay, it might be the best podcast. Definitely my favorite podcast. It's the Victory Talk. You know what it is. Live from sunny Florida. You know what it is, man. Victory Talk. Listen, under 15 minutes late today, man. We getting better. We improving every day. Let's start the show. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You know what it is. Come on now. Come on now. It's the Victory Talk podcast. Welcome. This is the podcast where we teach you how to improve your money, muscle, and mindset. Somebody last week said I was getting smaller. Psst. Your eyes are just getting worse. I'm like a fine wine, like a Cabernet Sauvignon, like a Sauvignon Blanc wine that's been aged to perfection, aged for 41 years. Keep getting better, man. Keep getting better. You know what it is, man. Victory Talk is going to help you build your money, muscle, and your mindset. You know, I got this new thing where I kind of want to start off the podcast story with a little story. You know what I'm saying? All right. So the year is 2019. I'm pretty sure. And I'm hanging out with this guy. He's a football player in the National Football League. So, okay, there's a lot of people from different countries. American football. You die playing that. In America, we ain't started liking soccer till Messi came through. You know, before Messi came here, soccer was like a sport that you send your fucking grade school daughter to so she don't get pregnant after school. That was the only use for soccer. But now that Messi's here, we fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? I digress. So he's an American football player for the New York Jets. I know, gross, right? But I used to train him because I train a few pro athletes, and listen, I'm leaving his name out of it because I'm not proud of training the New York Jet. New York Jet, man, they have a long history of sucking. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be blamed for anything. I did the best I could, man. You can't turn shit in. You can put syrup on pancakes. I mean, you can put syrup on shit, but that don't make it pancakes. Anyway, so I'm hanging out with this dude, and we at this like event at this like venue, this like club venue, right? And we here, and then we chilling, some other people there, boom, and the king of ketosis, he don't drink, right? But everybody else is drinking, man. Brandon Carter, king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Jesus Gimnasio. I don't drink. You know what I'm saying? And but everybody else is drinking, having a good time. And so dude, he starts talking to this girl. All right, the football player, he starts talking to this girl who's actually was married to a famous rapper. Can't tell you. I ain't out here snitching, so I ain't gonna tell the name, but it's just a funny part of the story. All right. And so she's married to this dude, but she out in the club acting real single, you know what I'm talking about? Acting real single. And she got this girl with her, right? Her friend. You know what I'm saying? So my man was like, the football player was like, all right, yo, listen. I'm about to run. Listen, I need you to set up a block. I need you to set up a block because I'm gonna run towards the end zone. Football players, man, they only talk football if you know them, right? So he needed me to not distract the girl, but keep her company so he can fuck this rapper's wife. And I'm like, all right, well, I am your trainer, so I guess I'll do what I got to do. And I'm just talking to the girl, right? I'm not trying to do it. I'm just talking to the girl. She gets shitty drunk. I mean, she's like sloppy drunk, gross, right? And then we all four of us get into a limousine, right? I'm not really sure where we're going because I ain't never been to this dude's crib. It's like way in Jersey. I know, gross, right? The fucking drunk chick falls asleep. Like she falls asleep, like drooling. The friend is falls asleep, like drooling. Like you never seen like Homer Simpson when he sleep on the couch? Like that's how she is in the back of the limo. Mind you, she's next to me. And in a limousine, like the passengers are facing each other. These motherfuckers start making out like heavily in the ride, and I'm like facing them by myself. It's like just me. This bitch sleep, and I'm like facing them. I don't know what to do. Like it's weird. They making out heavily. Like he grabbing titties and shit, grabbing like it's like they. It was weird position for me to be in, right? Anyway, we get to dude's crib. I'm like, fuck, man, I didn't need to be here, man. Look what you got me into, And as soon as we get out the limousine, the drunk chick wakes up and immediately throws up everywhere. She immediately throws up everywhere. I'm like, oh, this is weird, And then, but obviously, my man still wants to fuck this rapper's wife. Me being the good friend I am, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to facilitate, And then we get up to his crib, his apartment, right? And it's just like we all about to go. I'm about to go to sleep. Shorty about to go. Shorty, she's about to pass out, right? And we're like, we got to carry this drunk bitch in the crib. You know what I'm saying? And the rapper's wife looks at me and says, please don't take advantage of her. I'm like, yeah, because she's so fucking hot right now. I don't know how I'm going to fucking, I have no idea how I'm going to fucking restrain myself. Don't worry about it, bitch. Don't worry about it. This bitch is safe, So we go to sleep, and I got to sleep in the same bed with her because he only got a 2-bedroom, right? But I ain't doing nothing. It ain't sexual at all. Obviously, my man in there fucking the girl. I did my job. And I wake up, man. I'm like, shit, man. I must have been sweating like a motherfucker, right? Because it was wet. And then I told her, like, this bitch peed the bed. This bitch peed all over me. And all over the bed. And then she wakes up. She realizes what she does and sprints out the room. Sprints out the room. You know what I'm saying? And then she comes in crying and all this other shit. All this other stuff. Whatever. My man smashed the other chick. You know what I'm saying? I had to sleep in a puddle of piss to make that happen in New Jersey, which is customary in New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I'm the first person to sleep in a puddle of piss in New Jersey. Probably not that day. Probably not the first person that day. But he made it happen. What's the point? Brandon, you might be thinking, Brandon Carter, Gymnasium Jesus. What's the point of this story? The point is, man, remember I said he was a client. I used to train him, right? You got to go above and beyond for your clients. You got to do anything for your clients. If you got a business or a product or service, you got to think about how how you can really go the extra mile for your clients. And I had to sleep in a puddle of piss for mine, right? But he was a good client, man, and he brought, it was a lucrative relationship. I made a lot of money training him. Until he got cut from the NFL. But that's the kind of, those of you who want to start businesses, those of you guys who have a product or service you want to market to the public, man, listen, that's the kind of effort you need to put in to your clients, making sure your clients succeed in all areas. If your clients need help, you know what I'm saying, you got to be there above and beyond. And then you'll never have to worry about money. You never have to worry about money if you can do that, man. That's the story. Hey, we got a lot to talk about today. But first, I want a word from my sponsor. This episode of Victory Talk is sponsored by, you know, I hate to brag, but we got a sponsor coming up in the world. This is sponsored by Thot Repellent. Thot Repellent is the easy to apply spray. Let me zoom in over. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, Thot Repellent. So what this does is, we need to, it's a spray. You apply this to your body. You can even apply it to the perimeter of your home, right? And it will keep the thoughts away for 10 to 12 hours, right? And we're working on bringing this to market, and that's what all your super chats are going to go towards this. All your super chats are going to go towards this. And the reason why this product is needed in the marketplace is because we got so many people joining the Discord, the Victory Unit Discord. There's free courses in there. There's close to 20,000 people in there, and they're all taking advantage of the free courses, the free trainings, the free advice that we're giving in there all the time, every day. And that advice, those courses are going to help them build their money, muscle, and mindset. And then once they max out their money, muscle, and mindset, these thoughts are going to be all over them, right? Because right before they joined the Victory Unit Discord, they were trying to worry about, how do I get girls? What's the best thing I can do to girls? Once they're in the Victory Unit and they up the money, muscle, mindset, their biggest problem is like, damn, how do I keep all these chicks away from me, man? It's too many fucking girls. No mas chicas, por favor. It's a big problem. It's a big problem. There's too many girls. And, you know, they'll ruin everything. That's how listen. There's this book. You may have heard of it. It's called the Bible. And it starts, the Bible. And it starts off chapter 1 with a woman ruining everything. Right? Adam was chilling. Then this bitch start talking to a snake. Right? Moses wrote the book of Genesis. Right? He was trying to teach us some lessons. The first lesson he was trying to teach us, hey, don't let your bitch hang out with other guys. Right? So this bitch hanging out with another guy. You know what I'm saying? And this guy hating on Adam, saying, man, if Adam was a real nigga, he would be eating them apples, man. Fuck with God. Adam a bitch. He do whatever God say, you know? And she was like, yeah, Snake, you right. And then she get him Adam's ear. They eat the apple. Now we all got to wear clothes and go to work. Right? You know what I'm saying? We was chilling before that. Everything was perfect. Right? Obviously, that's an elaborate fairy tale or fable. But what Moses was trying to teach us was that bitches will fuck your whole shit up. You can have everything perfect and the wrong bitch will come in and fuck your shit up. We're not going to let that happen to you. So all your super chats are going towards research and development for Thot Repellent so these hoes can't fuck your shit up. They'll do it, man. They'll do it. There's a player here in Miami for the Miami Dolphins. He's got 4 chicks pregnant right now at the same time. He knows how to get in the end zone. He knows something about scoring. And them bitches was trying to get pregnant, man. Them bitches, well, he might not have been trying to not get him pregnant, right? He might not have been trying to not get him pregnant. But had he had Thot Repellent, man, you know how many babies he'd have? None. Right? And he'd be closer to winning the championship this year, right? All your super chats go to a Thot Repellent. All right. Let's get into the first lesson for today. I think it's what is it? Oh, we didn't do it last week. So okay. Y'all know I read a lot of books. Right? I actually read these books and more than that. I got more in storage, right? And what we like to do every every week here on Victory Unit Podcast is I like to give you a book of the week. We're laughing because I be trying to like I had to blow my nose. I got seasonal allergies, man. It's like my only weakness. Seasonal allergies. other than that, I'm perfect. But you know, my body doesn't like pollen. that's my only weakness. And we do this shit at night. You can't take allergy medicine at night because you might stay up. So I'll be trying to. All right, I gotta blow my nose again. Just run the shit one more time. Hey, shout out to Nima. He made that. We're gonna be using that a lot until the season changes. Until the season's done changing. So Brandon Carter can blow his nose. All right. So I've read a lot of books over the years. Okay. Over the last 2 years, I've read, no, it's more than 2 years. For like the last over 10 years. Yeah, for over 10 years, I've been reading about 2 books a week. A lot of times it's brand new books. Some books I reread. And one of the books that really impacted me early in my journey was a book called The Power of Habit. Hold up. Okay, here it is. Power of Habit. Right. And you can see I read this book. I bought this book November 2013. And this book was super impactful for me. I know there's a lot of books about habits that people like. People really like Atomic Habits and other books of that nature. And those are good. But I really believe this is the foundation. And much as I like Atomic Habits, this book covers habits in a way that's, I don't want to say better, but the author takes a different approach, right? And I want to break this book down for you right now, show you the main points, the main takeaways that I got from this book, how it impacted me and helped me advance to making millions and millions of dollars and how you can benefit from that as well. All right. So let's break it down. So Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit." Right. And this is why habits are really important, right? Because your brain, because your life is basically going to be the sum of your habits. The things you do habitually is what counts. Every once in a while, somebody tells me they're trying to lose weight or they're trying to get in shape, and they'll say some shit like, "Hey, I ate a salad yesterday." I'm like, "Yo, congratulations, asshole. You did almost nothing." Right? It's doing something once ain't going to help you. It's what you do habitually that counts. Right? And even in life, I see a lot of people try to go for these big swings. They try to hit these home runs to accomplish something big. And in my experience, success is never like that. Success is more like the way the Grand Canyon was built, right? It was built slowly over thousands of years by the Colorado River. And it was just water going in the direction, but it gradually did it over time, all day, every day for years. And then it built one of the most amazing natural, what is it called? A natural fucking it built one of the most amazing. Is it a one of the world? Is the Grand Canyon one of the 7 wonders of the world? Let's fact check that, man. Let's fact check that. 7 wonders of the world is, we know we got the pyramids, Great Wall of China, fucking a few 7 wonders of the world. Oh, the Grand Canyon. All right, cool. So because the Colorado was consistent, it didn't because the Colorado River was consistent over a long period of time, it built one of the 7 wonders of the world. Didn't happen in one day. And that's what success is going to be like for you. Anything you want to achieve, fitness goal, income goal, relationship goal, you want to change some of your personality, is going to come from consistency over a significant amount of time. All right. So let's talk about what I learned from this book and how you can implement that in your life. All right. So your brain, I'm going to draw a brain. This is a brain. It's the brain stem. Yeah, that's not bad. All right. Your brain uses a tremendous amount of energy. Your brain uses a tremendous amount of energy. In fact, your brain uses, the human brain uses 20% of the body's energy at rest. This means when you're doing nothing, just chilling, your brain is using 20 body's energy, but it's only 5% of your body mass. You know what I'm saying? And when you're thinking hard or working hard, it's going to use significantly more. In fact, how much the motherfucking them what is it? The fucking chess players? How many calories they burn? Chess players, man. These niggas, they play chess and oh, it's right here at the top. All right, yo, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So published data this is published data saying that chess players can use up to 6,000 calories per day in an in-person chess tournament. And all they're doing is sitting there thinking, right? Because your brain uses a lot of energy, right? And here's the thing, your brain doesn't want to waste energy. It doesn't want to waste energy, all right? So there's a part of your brain called the cerebrum, right? And that's controls like complex shit in your brain. And this uses a lot of energy. So when something's complex, or maybe just complex to you, you're just learning how to do it, it's going to use a significant amount of energy. But your brain does not want to use up a lot of energy. All right. Now, when you're trying to develop a new habit, your cerebrum is working super hard. Right. And once you've done this thing, once you perform this habit when you perform this action a significant amount of times, what happens is, I think it's over here somewhere. I'm not a brainiologist. This is where I think it is, right? It moves to your basal ganglia, and that's part of your brain that controls more automatic functions, right? So, for example, when you see like a baby's learning to walk, this motherfucker's trying hard as hell to stay balanced, and he's trying to put one foot over the other. That's all cerebrum activity because it doesn't know how to do it. But once it's done it enough times, then it becomes what? A habit. It just knows how to put one foot in front of the other and walk. Then it moves to his basal ganglia. And now this motherfucker can run all around the house. And now you got to stop it from killing itself because it's on the move now. Now your main job is stopping this thing from killing itself for the next 18 years. All right. And if y'all have kids, y'all know I'm not lying, man. They be jumping off and shit, trying to stick their fingers in the fucking sockets. They'll drink the bleach if you let them. Like you got to watch them all day, right? Anyway, what are we talking about? Oh, that's right, habits. Okay. Now, once this action is taken over by the basal ganglia, it's more automatic and it doesn't require as much energy. This is super important. It's super important, right? And it's way more energy efficient. But this is why it's difficult to actually form new habits, right? Because it has to first happen here where it's using up a lot of energy, right? Before it can move to your basal ganglia and become automatic, right? Also, this is why it's difficult to break bad habits, because now you have to basically retrain your basal ganglia to not perform this action anymore, right? You actually have to change your brain to break a bad habit. And that's why it becomes very difficult, right? And The power of habit goes through the power of habit really breaks down how you can do that and how you can form new habits that are more productive, that will benefit you, and how you can actually break habits that are fucking up your life. I know a lot of you guys, man, there's all types of shit you want to do. You want to stop jagging off, and you want to as much. Right? You want to stop smoking weed all day. You want to stop. A lot of you guys just want to simpler than that. You just want to stop being a bitch, right? But you got to understand, you've been being a bitch for so long. It's in your basal ganglia now. You a basal ganglia bitch, and that's the hardest kind of bitch to change. Hopefully. Hopefully we can help you out in this video. All right. So it's important to know that. So the first thing the book covers is something called the habit loop. Right? Fuck is the habit loop? Shut up. I'm about to tell you. All right. So it's a loop, 3-step loop. That's more of a square. But whatever, man. Just fuck with me. All right. I think we can. Fuck it. We'll make it a loop. We'll talk about that. I'll make it a loop. Fuck it. All right. I'll draw a loop for you, motherfuckers. Well, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. All right. All right. So the habit loop. And the habit loop consists of 3 parts. There's the cue, right? There's the the routine. And then the reward. All right. So the cue can also be called the trigger. Basically, for example, a lot of what's some bad habits that people have? What's some bad habits that motherfuckers have, man?
Like smoking, lying,
overspending, stealing. Let's say you a thief,
cheating.
Let's say you want to stop stealing, or let's say one of your habits is you be stealing shit. All right, the cue would be seeing. The cue would be seeing some shit you want to steal, right? You know what I'm saying? Or overeating. The cue would be let's say you want to stop overeating. You a fat motherfucker, right? The cue would be maybe you smell some motherfucking fried chicken, and then you just gonna start eating. You immediately want to gobble it all up, right? So the cue is the trigger, right? So the thief, he sees the fucking cue, right? The routine would be the action you take once you get the cue, right? So you want to stop stealing, right? But your habit is stealing, right? You see some dope shit, you like, you know what, man, I'm about to get me one of those just like it. And then the action is you start to rob, right? And then the reward is what you get out of the action, right? So the reward is what does it say? Oh yeah, is what you get. Right. And to be clear, and let's use the fat motherfucker. let's also finish that fat motherfucker analogy, right? He smells fried chicken, right? Action, he starts shoveling that shit in his mouth, gobbling it down like a fucking heathen. And the reward is tasty treat in his stomach, big fat stomach. All right. Cue, routine, reward. Now, the cue can be a person, It could be a thing. It could be an emotion. There's all different types of cues. And also the action. The action could be, it's usually something you do, but it could be something you feel, but it's typically something you do, right? Something physical. And then the cue, the reward, it could be some sort of like emotional reward. It could be actually the physical reward of having something, or it could be like a cognitive reward, like you learn something or you get something out of it, or maybe like a feeling of superiority, something like that, right? The cue, routine, and reward. Let me put this shit on here. Right? And it's like that for all habits. Now, what's important to know is that you can't stop bad habits. You can't just stop them. You have to replace them, right? So let's talk about how to change old habits, right? To change a bad habit, what you want to do is you want to replace the action in an existing habit loop. For example, the thief may when he sees the shit he wants to steal, right? The normal act that's a trigger. He sees something he wants to steal. The action would be grab his Glock, put it in someone's face. He could replace that action with, hey, I'm going to go get a job now. or a simpler action would be, when it's something you want to stop eating or something like that, like the fat person cue, right? When you see the fried chicken, right? Instead of shoving that shit in your mouth as fast as you can, right? What you could do is maybe eat something else instead, or sorry, some funny shit is happening all around me. What I do when I'm cutting, for example, when I'm on a diet and I'm trying to get more ripped. I know you're thinking more ripped. I know, yeah. Sometimes I need to get more ripped. When it's something when I get a cue or for something that I want to eat, right? Instead of eating that, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll fucking distract myself with like some different kind of work, right? So, or maybe I'll like go for a walk, or maybe I'll start exercising instead of eating it. Like I've done that before, right? Whatever the case may be, what you have to do is you're still going to get triggered, right? You got to understand that this trigger is still going to happen. And to break a bad habit, you have to plan a way to perform a different action instead of the action that you normally perform once you get that trigger. And it's super important. So what you want to do is make a list of all your bad habits or the habits that you want to break. Boom. So you go habit, and then write down the cues. Right? Write down the cues. Right? So let's say you want to stop beating off so much. Maybe you're just doing it all the time. You can't stop beating off. It's like it's a fucking problem. You're doing it multiple times a day. You're fucking. If a woman's winning your room, she just get pregnant because you got fucking DNA everywhere. You should look like Spider-Man had a fight in your room because you got motherfuckers. You got the shit everywhere, right? You want to stop doing that. What's the cue? The cue would be horny. You just get horny as fuck, right? So what you want to do is have a new routine or action and replace it. So now you know every time you get horny, what you're going to do, you're going to do motherfucking burpees. Right? Maybe you do that, right? Let's say smoking. Right? Maybe a lot of people smoke when they're stressed. Right? So maybe that's the cue. So instead of smoking weed, what you can do is beat off. No, I'm just joking. But no, that was a joke, but that was funny, but it wasn't a joke. See, what a lot of times what people do, and you see this a lot, is they replace this habit, right? They replace the action with an action that's just as bad. For example, sometimes people will smoke, and when the cue is stress, so what do? They start eating. And this is why people get fat when they smoke. This is why a lot of people get fat when they stop smoking cigarettes. You got to make sure that you're not replacing it with some bullshit, right? So you got to think of something you can replace it with. It could be anything. I say burpees. Right? Let's say, what's another habit some people want to fucking stop doing? Procrastinating. All right, the habit is procrastinating. And with great trepidation, I am trying to spell this word. Was that right? Whatever, closer fucking enough, right? You're procrastinating, right? Maybe the cue is you don't want to procrastinate because why do people procrastinate, man? They don't know how to do it. Yeah, maybe a lot of times you don't know how, or like, you know what? A lot of times it's people's overwhelmed. I would say that's the main reason. Overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? Overwhelmed, right? So what do you do as soon as you feel like you're over? Is that right? Because everyone else is saying lazy, but I feel like the only time I procrastinate is like it's a fucking big task and like fuck, I don't feel like taking this shit on, man.
That happens. Yeah, sometimes your schedule is like just so tight.
And I'm just like, fuck, man, do I really want to do this shit, man? This is gonna be a fucking pain in the ass, you know? Maybe that is lazy. All right, we'll call it lazy. Fuck it. Oh shit. All right. So what action can you take when you feel lazy? That's the cue. Normally what you do is you already fuck around, do some bullshit. Instead, what you're going to do? Burpees. Listen, this is just example. You got to come up with your own actions. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to do burpees. I'm telling you that you have to replace whatever action you normally take in your existing habit loop, because we all have habit loops. All right. You get a cue. We all got habit loops, and we all every habit you have is this habit loop. There's a cue or a trigger which causes a routine or action, and you get some sort of reward out of it. You know what I'm saying? Get some reward out of it, right? So you can't just stop the action. People say, I'm just going to stop doing that. Nah, because you're still going to have to contend with the triggers, and you have to replace that trigger with a different action, right? You do something different once that trigger. So just things you have to plan ahead. So yeah, I was kind of just joking when I wrote burpees for all of them. Like, you have to do this. You got to think of the habits you want to break, and you just write out a fucking chart like this, dummy, right? And figure out what the cues are, and then figure out what action you're going to take instead of the fucking bullshit you've been doing. You get what I'm saying? Right now, if you want to create a new habit, let's say you're not trying to break a bad habit, you're trying to create a new habit. What's really helpful is if you can actually anchor this habit to an existing cue or an existing reward, almost like inserting it into an existing habit loop, right? So a good example of this is if you wanted to start working out more, let's say you want to do it in the morning, right? So the cue would be you wake up, right? Boom. And you put the new action there. Upon waking up, first thing you do, put on your clothes and just head to the gym without thinking, right? I used to do that for years, all right, until I would do that for years, and that worked really well for me, and that's worked well for a lot of people, right? Or you can say, your cue is like, oh, work is over, boom. Instead of going to the bar, you set up a new action. All right, now after when work is over, I go to the gym. You get what I'm saying? And then you'll get a different reward out of that. You get what I'm saying? It's like you got to find an existing trigger that's already going on in your life, and then tie that new habit into that, right? So it's kind of the same thing. It's very similar to breaking a bad habit, right? This is how the book explains it. This is how the book explains it, right? Now, what we haven't talked much about is the reward part, the actual reward part. So one of the reasons why it's easy to build bad habits and difficult to build good habits is because typically good habits have a reward that's more long-term, right? If you want to start working out, the reward is that you're in good shape, happy, healthy, but that's typically going to take a long time. You're not going to get the main reward today most of the time, right? However, fucking doing some drug or smoking cigarette or fucking a hooker, right? You get the reward immediately, right? So bad habits usually have immediate reward that you get out of it, right? Going to the club all night, you immediately get a reward from that, but your good habits, you want to start waking up early, it's going to be a long time before you start seeing the progress from that, right? So you're going to have it, and that's what makes it difficult. That's going to be like the biggest obstacle. The biggest obstacle. What I like to do is tie different rewards to it. Oh, I tie a cognitive reward to it, right? So how do I explain this? Because I track everything I do. I have a lot of videos about tracking and progress, and I'm always tracking my progress. The minute I track, let's say I bring up my habit tracker, and we've talked about this many times. I have videos on how to make a habit tracker. What I do is I try to immediately check the habit off on my habit tracker. And what that does is that's going to give me like a kind of an immediate dopamine release. It's like I feel good about that. I feel good about when I cross it off. So you want to give yourself little micro rewards for the action, at least until it becomes a habit. That's what you might have to do initially, right? Especially for something you don't like. If it's something you don't like if you don't like working out, then this is something you definitely got to do, right? If you don't like drinking water and you want to drink more water, all right, then what I do is, because I'm trying to drink more water. I want to drink more. I'm trying to take it up to like 4 liters a day, right? So I'm tracking the ounces as I go throughout the day, and every time I get closer, I start feeling a little better about myself. I'm like, oh, good, I'm really doing this shit, right? So it's more of a cognitive reward because I know that the real benefits are only going to come like down the line, and that's going to be the same with working out. That's going to be the same for building a business. It's going to be the same for waking up early. Like the real rewards won't come for weeks, months, sometimes years later, but you still got to stay consistent, right? So you're going to have to give yourself little cognitive rewards initially until your basal ganglia takes that shit over, and then it's just automatic. Does that make sense? Is there getting that? That's the difficulty. But bad habits, the reason you form those bad habits is because you got an immediate reward, right? As soon as you smoke the joint, you start feeling the high. You know what I'm saying? And that's difficult to contend with. It's difficult to contend with. So you're gonna have to really trick your brain. You know what I'm saying? And that's really all hedonism. All hedonism is like immediate reward. You know what I'm saying? Immediate reward. You're gonna get something out of it immediately. Another thing you can do is, if there's something you do enjoy that you like and it's not harmful, right? For me, it's like I like to go to the shooting range, right? So what I could do is I can only go to the shooting range if I do a certain action, right? So I import I make it conditional. I can't just go whenever I want. You know what I'm saying? I make it conditional, right? So only if I do these certain amount of things, then I can go to the shooting range and turn into John and practice being Black John Wick, Jamal Wick. Still got it, Nima. Still got it all these years. All right. Or this is another method that you might find enjoyable, right? I hate cardio. Yeah, man. You may look at me and think, surely you jest. You must love cardio. Your name should be Brandon Cardio. The way I look at you, how ripped and shredded you are, and you've maintained that incredible physique for over a decade here on YouTube. You're right. I don't like it, but I do it anyway, right? And one of the methods I use to do more cardio is if I want to play a video game. Video games are super fun, right? If I want to play a video game, I have to be doing cardio, right? So I got 2 exercise bikes in the crib. No, it's fucking 3. That's overboard, but whatever. I got 3 exercise bikes in the crib, and I can only play video games if I'm on an exercise bike doing cardio. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Tyrone Wick, that's not bad. LaMarcus Wick. Anyway, so so I'll be on the Switch playing fucking Smash Bros. Fucking Splatoon. I like Splatoon. I know I'm probably the oldest nigga ever to play Splatoon, but it's fun. And or Call of Duty Mobile. Like I'll get my iPad out and I'll start playing Call of Duty Mobile, and I'm on that joint, and it makes something boring more fun. Right. So what I did was I took a reward. I took a reward and attached it to the action that I wanted to do more of. Does that make sense? Right. So that's what you're going to have to do at least until your basal ganglia takes over. You know what I'm saying? Quick caveat on that. Do not tie an external reward to something you already enjoy, because some study shows that it actually makes you enjoy it less. I don't have the science about that, but Huberman was talking about it. You know, he's a science white man. And you know, man, if a science white man says it, it's got to be true. So if it's something you already like, don't tie a reward to it. But you can tie a reward to something that you don't enjoy in order to get yourself to do it. Does that make sense? All right. And then now the last thing you're going to have to do when you're trying to form a new habit, or you're trying to break a bad habit, is you got to think about what are the obstacles. I do this all the time. I call it offensive pessimism. Oh, Ryan Holiday about this. If you watch the video that we did, the interview I did with Ryan Holiday, I said, hey man, I got this thing called offensive pessimism, and you can have it. I said he can use it, but I think he's just waiting for the right book to put it in. He ain't put it in his book since then. It's only been about 8 years. He's probably just waiting for you, like, put the good book and put the offensive pessimism in there. But anyway, you think about what could go wrong with your game plan. What could go wrong? Like, what could fuck up your plan, right? You know, and then you want to put some sort of plan in place to handle this when it presents itself. For example, if you want to start, let's say it was go again with stop smoking, but you're stressed. The plan was to do burpees, but you work at the office, so you can't just bust out some burpees in between meetings at the office in front of everybody. You can't do it. You're wearing a suit and shit. It's not going to work. So what happens when you get stressed in that? Excuse me. You got to think of something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you get the Nicorette at that point, right? You keep some Nicorette gum on you for that when you need it. Maybe you can decide you're gonna chug a liter of water instead. Maybe you're gonna meditate during that time to relieve stress, right? Maybe you can do some breathing exercise, right? You got to think about what can go wrong and how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? And you're procrastinating late. Maybe you can't do burpees, man, because you at work again. You're procrastinating. Maybe you can do some sort of breathing exercise. Maybe you can listen. This has not really been a problem for me, so I don't really know what to do, man. It's difficult for me to come up with examples. You know what I'm saying? Procrastinating. Maybe you can't do burpees at work. Oh, I know what you can do. You can take like 300 milligrams of caffeine. Then you won't be able to stop working, right? You got to find out what works for you, right? But that's the cue. That's it. That's the key. That's the key. So this is what you have to do to really form new habits and break bad habits. You got to first investigate the habit loop, right? If you're trying to break a bad habit, find out what your triggers are and put a different action in place for that, right? And then also think about what can go wrong and come up with like a backup plan for if something goes wrong. Come up with like backup plans, right? And if you're trying to build a new habit, right? You find out you pick an existing trigger and tie the action to that trigger and then attach some sort of reward to that. And if you can do that, man, you'll be able to build strong habits, man, break bad ones, and you'll be a lot more likely to succeed in your goals and all endeavors in your life. All right. I highly suggest you check out the book. Hold up. I highly suggest you check out the book, The Power Habit. It's super good. What's up? The link's in the description. This book is really good. And it's definitely a book that has served me well in my life. And I implemented these strategies to break a lot of bad habits and to build a lot of good habits that have served me well over the years. I know everybody loves Atomic Habits, and that's a good book too, but I just feel like this one is kind of slept on, man. And it's definitely worth a read. All right. Real quick. One thing that I think is critical to building new habits, though, is coming up with some sort of habit tracker and tracking your progress every day. I really think that's critical, and it's going to be super difficult for you to build and maintain really good habits without that. I have another video about how to build a habit tracker and the way I track my habits and how that's helpful. You should check that video out now. All right. Cool, man. Yo, let's read some super chats. Let's read some super chats. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. I gotta blow my nose. I just gotta blow my nose. I know. Hey, I can't be blowing my nose on camera, man. That's just gonna turn into a GIF. Motherfuckers gonna put that shit on Giphy. All right, what super chats we got?
That's nasty. We have Auntie Pancakes.
Who?
Auntie Pancakes.
Okay.
He had his super chat saved.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Yo, Brandon, I just got a D1 offer for basketball and wanted to ask you if you think it's worth working towards hopefully getting into the NBA. I know it's difficult, but I'm willing to put in the work."
Hold up, man. We got to turn. Can we? Is there a way to turn her up? That's the highest she go. All right, I'm gonna just move this closer to me. I think I heard it though. Can you read it one more time?
I just got a D1 offer for basketball and wanted to ask you if you think it's worth working towards hopefully getting into the NBA. I know it's difficult, but I'm willing to put in the work. And
yo, if you got a D1, pancakes. Bro, if you got a D1 scholarship you got a scholarship to a Division I school, that means they're gonna pay for your school. Take that shit, man. See, people say college is a scam. Now, I suspect that those people who say that probably trying to sell you some shit they want you to buy their shit instead, or and this may be the case, they were dorks in college, or they may have went to a shitty school. I had an amazing time in college. Thought it was fantastic. I was not a dork. So I had a great time. I went to Howard University, HU. You know what I'm saying? That shit was dope. That shit was fucking dope. And but the only thing I agree with people on when they say college is a scam is it's overpriced. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. But if you ain't gotta pay for the fucking shit, they're gonna do it for free to do something you obviously enjoy, playing basketball. And if there's the fucking slightest chance you might make it in the NBA, fucking take that shot, baby. Go for that shit, man. Let's go. Let's get it, man. And if not, at least they'll fucking pay for your school, bro. And then you can go out and learn some shit. You make some money. School's dope. College is dope, man. Fuck what these nerds tell you about. They fucking nerds. All these motherfuckers is nerds since college. That was their problem. All right, what's up?
We got Blackjack.
Big Blackjack, what up?
I might rent a condo on Biscayne Boulevard to be around money energy and show a luxury ocean front view on IG to attract new customers. I know that lifestyle marketing is powerful on IG. In your opinion, would this help scale an online business?
I see what you're going for, right? That whole Lambo shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember, like a few years ago, like all the guys were. It's Ty Lopez marketing, right? Ty started this shit. He was the first motherfucker with the Lambo showing lifestyle. He would have like 12 bitches in bikinis playing basketball in his crib, and then he'd be like, "Yeah, man. So that's why you need to fucking buy the course." You know, he started that shit. He made a lot of money doing that, and I wouldn't do anything that's not real. You get what I'm saying? Like, it should be authentic. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not saying that it's not authentic. You get in that condo or you move into, you know, wherever. As long as it's something you really want and you can really afford, and then just be authentic. Like when I show my lifestyle, it's like it's really what's happening. Like it's really what's happening. You know what I'm saying? I really bought a Richard Mille and I do be wearing it, right? Like I really got, you know, it's what's happening. It's real shit. So as long as it's authentic, I wouldn't do it just to sell your shit though, right? Because Jordan Peterson's a best-selling author, and he ain't, you know, this motherfucker be wearing a Timex and in a fucking baggy suit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, he don't ever. I don't know what he drive or care, right? You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to go that route. Like, there's more than one ways to market. Right? I don't want you to think that's the only way. And also, you know, it's getting kind of played out, the whole lifestyle shit. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You know, people definitely, especially you're selling how to make money, as long as it's real. As long as it's real, like, just don't be out here faking, because it's hard to. I'm not saying you would be faking, right? But it's difficult to maintain a facade for a significant amount of time. What else
we have Jose.
Jose.
He gave $30.
Okay.
Brandon, last super chat, which was this one.
Okay.
Who was just for your birthday, my friend.
Hey.
I effed up and sent the last one by mistake. God bless you. I have a question though on the next super chat.
Okay.
I'm not a regular. My question is, I recently started a second business on Turo.
Okay.
I even have investors in it and it's going well.
Nice.
I know you say no to multiple businesses.
Yes.
What should I do?
I don't know if I understand the question. Because he already started a second business. So what should he do? I'll tell you what I did. I picked one. You know, I had multiple businesses, and a lot of them I shut down, sold my stake in them, and I just focused on the one that I was most excited about and had the most potential upside. Right. So I looked for the business. I looked for that business that got me super excited and had the most potential upside, the one that can be most lucrative. And then I rolled with that one. You know what I'm saying? But to be clear, you can make a lot of money doing almost anything, right? So this part was kind of negligible because you can make a lot of money doing anything. You know, I mean, as long as it's a scalable business model, right? Any scalable business model, it's hard to be, it's hard to be like a multi-million-dollar barbershop, right? Unless you start franchising it, which is a whole different business model and it's more difficult than it sounds. But all my businesses were, they had the potential to scale, right? So you might have to look at that, like which one can be what business do you think you could actually scale, and which one you're most excited about. Wherever that overlap is, that is where you want to be, right? Because excitement to keep you going through a long time, and then the money is, the money. You know what I'm saying? All right. I think that's what you need to do. Yeah.
We have slice and rice.
Slice and rice with the $10. You know what it is.
30. Appreciate you for giving us bits of game and victory talk.
Nice.
Having a great time listening to this weekly.
Fantastic.
Great guest, W. Brandon Carter and crew.
Come on, man. Let's get that man a round of applause. Get another round of applause. A lot of truth in that statement, brother. We appreciate you.
Nice guys movers.
Okay.
Thanks, King Keto, for all the game.
Mm-hmm.
Pro tip to the chat.
Mm-hmm.
If you take success seriously, schedule victory talk in your Google Calendar. I will be buying a pallet of Thot Repellent once brought to market.
Yeah. There's a lot. Listen, man, there's a lot of truth in that statement. Let's give nice guy movers a round of applause.
We got Boogie Fit.
Big Bug.
Hey, Brandon, I hit you up earlier on IG. I was interested in joining the high ticket trainer course. Was in contact with Lee. Who?
Yeah, I know.
I would
Lee.
love to hear from you before fully committing.
What's your question, bro? what's your question, homie? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your question is. I don't really see a question there. Yeah, I don't really know what you're asking. But I will say, Bug, man, like on some real shit, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because like high ticket trader is not a get rich quick scheme. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's what you're looking for, but it's like if you're not bought in and you're not really ready to fucking go for it, then it might not be for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you are excited about it, it seems like you are excited about it. You just got to ask yourself, man, is this something I'm willing to commit to go for it? Like, I don't know what your concerns are because they weren't really voiced in that super chat. But I'm sure Lee showed you all the testimonials and all the stuff from everyone else. And if you think you got to ask yourself, do you think you can get similar results as those people? Or do you think they're better than you? I believe you can get those results with our assistance. And fuck, man, there's a money back guarantee. There's a money back guarantee. Who else is doing that, right? So like, there really ain't nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Really, there's actually nothing to lose. So it's but if you don't want to do it, like if you're not sure if you want to do it, then like maybe you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you should figure something else out. That's just real talk. You know what I'm saying? All right, what else we got? Because we kind of only want to work with the people who like fucking ready to go. Because that's what we get excited about. Like I don't want to have to push you. I don't want to have to push you. I don't want to have to pull you. Right? We going? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I want to fight with you. Like fucking Spartans in 300. You know what I'm saying? Like let's go to war together against poverty, against mediocrity. But I don't want to have to like, hey man, go out there and fight poverty. I am not in that business, right? So if you're not like ready to go, then it's cool, man. Like this, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Maybe something else will excite you more. What else we got?
We have Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I am considering giving up on my drop shipping business.
Okay.
I just hate to give up on something that I'm committed to.
Yeah. What
is a good service-based biz that I should consider learning the skills for?
Shout out to him for giving up on drop shipping. Yo, I'm just not a fan. But listen, however, I am open to be proven wrong about that. Right? Like if I can see a viable path, but it's never been something that I found interesting. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because drop shipping, what are you doing? You're selling Chinese bullshit to old people, right? Now, maybe I don't know. Maybe that's ignorance. Maybe that's what it was like 10, 15 years ago when I first learned about it, And I've done some drop shipping. Like I've made some cash doing it. It's just like, do you love selling Chinese bullshit to old people? You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't get excited about it, But that's just me, man. Maybe you can. fuck was this question again? What was it? What did you? Oh. First of all, it's two parts. No, I got it. I can see. He hates giving up on something he committed to. Yo, it's okay, man. Like, yo, listen. People say you shouldn't give up. I disagree. I think there's it's okay to give up sometimes. Let me show you what I mean. There was one point where I wanted to be a doctor. I thought it'd be a good idea if I was a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Carter. Thought that'd be dope, man. I would show up and like, Dr. Carter, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, all the bitches would be real excited about Dr. Carter. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted it for the wrong reasons, right? This is a young kid, you know what I'm saying? And then I found out how much school they had to go to. I was like, I am not willing to do that. So I just gave up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck that shit. And I did something else. And if you know what it takes to be successful at something and you're not willing to do that, I think you should give up and figure something else that you are willing to do, you know? So, you know, if you're giving up or you're quitting, then make sure you're doing it for the right reason. Oh, I quit music. Yeah, I got signed to Sony Records right out of college. They wanted me to be like light-skinned Kanye, man. It was like I was gonna be a producer, rapper. There's like, oh, we got a guy from Chicago. He produced and rap with BM, and then they merged with BMG. Then I got dropped, but then I was like, I don't like the fucking music industry. The music industry is to music what pornography is to sex, right? It cheapens it. You know what I'm saying? They take something beautiful and pervert it for their own financial gain, right? Sex is supposed to be a beautiful thing, man, between two consenting adults. You right? Right? You gonna fucking porn tube, and this motherfuckers in there, man, having eightsomes. You know what I'm saying? This goddamn shit with midgets and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's wild, man. It's wild. It's wacky. Wacky. They done made something beautiful gross. And that's what the fucking music industry did to music, you know. So I was like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I retired. Right. And maybe you feel the same way about drop shipping. Maybe you like, I wanted to start an online business, but I don't like tricking old people into buying this Chinese bullshit. and if you discover that that's the case, then maybe that's okay. You know what I'm saying? You can find another path. Don't give up on success, though. Right? If you just get into something you feel like once you enter, you realize it's not for you. That's what happened to me. I was like, I'm cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't need this shit. Yeah. That was a good answer.
He was also asking what business service.
Oh, what bird? Listen, brother, you're gonna have to figure that out yourself. Because you can make money doing anything. So it's hard for me to tell you to do something, you know. It depends on what skill sets you have and or what skills you're willing to develop, right? Because you got to have like a skill to do a service-based business. You got to be like good at something, right? Otherwise, then the only service you got is fucking labor or like some bullshit that the machines are going to take, some fucking bullshit job or business that the machine will take. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I think, okay, check this out. I think that more people, this is going to be unpopular, especially because, you know, I teach people how to start a service-based business, right? But the people I teach like love fitness, right? So it makes sense for them. If you don't know what you fucking love, you don't love shit, I think you should go on Coursera, join Coursera, take one of them Google certifications, man. Like you can take the Google data scientist certification. Yo, they got jobs. Motherfuckers get jobs with those certifications that'd be like fucking 6 figures doing data science and shit. You know what I'm saying? Data analytics. You got to be relatively smart though. So maybe that won't apply to most of you motherfuckers, man. I don't know. It depends on what you're good at and or what you really enjoy or you're willing to get good at. You know what I'm saying? What else? Is there any more?
We got Patrick. Happy birthday, G.
Oh, yeah, man. It was a long time ago. I don't celebrate my birthday, so I need to tell nobody, man. Dude found out on accident. You know what I'm saying? But thank you, though. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it.
We have Michaka.
Mm.
Sup, dorks. Hey, Brandon. Want to know what 3 books do you recommend to learn how to sell?
I like this guy. I like this. All right. 3 books to learn how to sell. All right. So the first is going to be how to win friends, how to win friends and influence people. I'm not going to write that whole long ass sentence, bro. All right. How to win friends and influence people. Second book is actually going to be Pitch Anything. Pitch Anything by, I forget this motherfucker's name. And then the third book is going to be Way of the Wolf. Oh. Yeah, Oren. I'm fucking Oren. So matter of fact, I'm gonna bring him up on the Amazon, so you can see. So you're gonna get how to win. So you got this joint right here. Hold on, I ain't got it up yet. All right, so is this it? How to win friends? Yeah, I guess that is. That's a weird cover of it. It's so old, man. Yeah, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. All right, you can get that joint, and then Pitch Anything. I'll show it to these motherfuckers. Yeah, Pitch Anything, right here by the homie. Fuck's his name? Oren? What kind of fucking name is that? All right, anyway. And then Way of the Wolf. Way of the Wolf by notorious con man Jordan Belfort. All right. Now, here's what it is, right? How to Win Friends is going to give you just overall people skills. Right? Just overall people skills. And if you just read that, you'd be a better salesman than fucking 90% of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's super critical. So one of the main things you'll learn in How to Win Friends and Live with People is that people think that to impress someone or to influence someone, they have to talk more. They have to have the gift of gab to talk. And people say bullshit like that, right? That works in certain contexts. But if you're on a one-on-one sale, right, you should not be doing a whole bunch of talking, right? You should be asking questions and asking questions about them, right? And How to Win Friends and Influence People was the first time I ever came in contact with this concept, right? When you ask people about them and let them talk, and they let them talk more than you, they'll like you more. Next time you guys are on a date and you guys are single, just ask a girl a question about her and follow up question about her. Don't say shit about yourself. Say as little as possible, unless she asks you a question, right? And yeah, man, she'll put her mouth on you for that, man. I'm sorry, she'll like you a lot more for that. You know what I'm saying? She'll like start to like you. I promise you, man. I promise you. You know, or just this next human you interact with, tell yourself, only thing you're gonna do is ask them questions about themselves. That's gonna be your whole conversation as much as possible, right? That motherfucker will love you. There's any man, woman, or child, they will love you because everyone's favorite topic is themselves. And you ask them questions about themselves, they'll love it, right? But that's my whole selling style. My whole selling style is just asking questions. I have a video on sales. Do we post that video? Yeah, maybe it's not up yet.
If it's from past 2 weeks, yeah.
Oh, it might not be up yet. But yeah, that's my whole selling style. That's exactly how I teach my students to sell. I've sold millions of dollars worth of products myself with that strategy, and I've helped you know, and you know, my students who I teach to build their online fitness business, I teach them how to sell. They got to do sales. And that's the whole selling style we teach them, is to ask them questions. Now, oh, it's not up yet. All right, cool. All right, that's fine. The whole selling style is just asking questions. You get what I'm saying? And you know, my dad was like a real expert salesman. Like y'all know my story. I grew up poor and I got sent away to military school, but while I was away in military school, he really built his business up to the point where they were doing like 3 million a year. And adjusted for inflation, right? Because that was in 2000. Adjusted for inflation, that had been 8 million. And he did all the selling. He would tell me that, man, he was like, man, these motherfuckers think that selling is convincing them, but it's not. It's just asking them questions until they convince themselves, right? And How to Win Friends and Influence People, I think it's the best book ever written, right? Now, fortunately, those of y'all know my story. By the time I was out of college, my dad ruined all the money and killed himself, right? But the lesson, is still applicable, right? How to Win Friends and Influence People. Pitch Anything's a little different, though. Pitch Anything is, how do I put it? It's more about, let me hold on. It's you know what? Okay, pitching anything. The main takeaway you're going to learn from this is how to have what's called the prize frame. Right? What I mean by the prize frame is, you know, a lot of people, they say, hey man, we can do this for you, or we can do that. And they get super excited about trying to convince these motherfuckers, or they get super excited about trying to say what their product or service can do for the customer. They're trying to tell them all the advantages. They're really going super hard on how to convince them to purchase their product or service. And it's almost like a lot of salespeople have a natural inclination to kiss ass and beg for the sale. But what my man taught in Pitch Anything was to actually kind of flip that and sell in a way where you're not really selling, and you get the prospect to sell themselves, or almost like they're trying to sell you, even though they're trying to sell you on giving you money to buy your shit. And it's a totally different strategy than what's customary. You know, like a lot of salespeople just have a real propensity to beg and kiss ass. But what happens is that repels people. Like, people kind of want what they can't have, you know, and anything that comes easy, people instinctively don't value. They almost, you know, disdain it. You get what I'm saying? And also when you come off pushy, right? A lot of salespeople will be pushy, and that's when you get pushed back. Think about the word push back. You can't get pushed back if you're not pushy, right? So what you really want to be doing is almost pulling away. You know what I'm saying? And what happens when you do that is they'll pull you forward. They pull you in. And Pitch Anything is probably the best book about how to set up that sort of frame, you know, and how it's important, how to do it and why it's important. But it blends perfectly. It blends perfectly with the skills you get with How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like, they work seamlessly. You know what I'm saying? The problem with Pitch Anything is more geared towards pitching one to many, like, because Owen, he would do like presentations to groups like Shark Tank style, you know, as where when you're doing a one-on-one sale, the strategy is a little different, and that's where the way of the wolf comes in. Where the way in the wolf, it's more, how do I put it? What's the right word? It's more, yeah, you know what? Okay. Way of the wolf is a lot more strategic. Sorry. Where the first two books are more like overarching concepts, more, the word escapes me. There's not a lot of detail as it pertains to selling, right? Where the way of the wolf is just super strategic. Where it's just a lot more detail and it's a lot more about selling. And I think you need that because the other two books are more about like concepts, where this is more about real strategy. But when you have them all together, right? You know what I'm saying? When you have it, when you have all together, when you have a strategy that helps you implement the prize frame, then you end up with, damn, I wish I don't have purple. All right, whatever. All right. When you have like a strategy and the prize frame together, right? So you have a strategy to implement this the prize frame that gives you like more structure. Man, I'm really, I don't want to use yellow. I'm going to give your sales a lot more structure. Fuck. I can write that better. Oh. Close enough, right? That's going to give your shit a lot more structure, right? And once you have the people skills and the strategy, that's going to give you more like it's like they come together. No, I'm sorry, the people skills and the prize frame, right? That's going to give you like more of a style, like a selling style. And that's my selling style, right? Getting them to fall in love with me and then beg to buy my shit. Like that's my selling style. You know, everybody has different styles. Some people have more aggressive styles. Some people have more cutthroat styles. But I like the style where it's just like, hey man, they fall in love with you and then they beg you to buy. And when you have that people skill and a structure, right? Well, it's like the people skills will help you get more leads and the strategy, right? And that's going to come together and give you more of a like a, how do I put it? More, hold on, how do I? No. I'm just trying to think of the word. Okay. You know what that's going to do? That's going to give you more confidence. Right? Because it's easy to sell to someone who fucking really likes you a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody really likes you a lot. It's easy to sell. You won't be as nervous implementing the strategy, right? And then you have the structure and you got a dope style. That's where the money comes in, man. That's how you get the money. So I think those would be the 3 books I'd recommend, the first 3 books I'd recommend for someone who's trying to learn sales. I've read each one of those books multiple times. I probably read my favorite. I mean, How to Win Friends and Influence People is my favorite book of all time. I think it should be taught in high schools, require reading. Pitch Anything. I definitely read or listened to that book hundreds of times. The Way of the Wolf is really the book I've probably read the least. But because it was where I was at in my career, I had already done millions in sales. But if I was starting out, I would have found that more valuable. Does that make sense? Right. I have videos about sales that I go more in depth. You should definitely check those out as well. All right. Is there any other super chats?
Yes. We have Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, King Keto.
Mm-hmm.
It's Los in the building. Just sending you some birthday love to my fellow Virgo brother. Thank you for all the game you drop on this podcast. Ever since my life has gotten better.
Come on. Muchos gracias, Carlos Alvarez. Muchos gracias, Señor Alvarez. Mi amo, Brandon Grande, Gimnasio Jesus. Let's get
Kip.
What's up?
We have Kip.
Big Kip.
Burning through these modules mean the Victory Talk to Baller Mindset course to HTT pipeline is a MF.
Come on, let's go. Yo, the fucking Baller Mindset course. Best shit you can buy. You can't buy it. It's free. There's nothing. It's better than almost all the courses that people actually fucking pay for, man. Baller Mindset course, link in the description. If you've been through the Baller Mindset course or you started going through it, just type in the comments how dope that shit is so these motherfuckers see it, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen to these people, man. All these motherfuckers can't be lying. You know what I'm saying? And let's get the next one, then I'll go into the next segment.
We got Boogie back.
It's gonna be Habits of a Winner next. What's up?
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Again. I want to do the high ticket course.
All right.
Thing is, I work 80 plus a week, and on top of that, I train a lot for OCB NAT bodybuilding. How would I be able to accomplish it all this realistically?
80 hours a week is a lot, man. 80 hours a week is a lot. Truth is, maybe you can't, bro. Like, honestly, I don't know. 80 hours, if you're going 80 hours a week, the minimum I like people to say is you need like 4 hours a day to do HTT, to do high ticket trainer. You know what I'm saying? And if you really don't have that, like, do the time exercise. You know the time exercise. You know what it is. If you really don't have that time, then maybe you need to just wait until you can get that time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe after your bodybuilding show, you have time, or maybe if things die down and with those jobs. But 80 hours a week, I do applaud you for putting in that work, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of brothers working hard. All right. Hey, there's a lot of habits. We've been talking about habits on this episode. I did a whole breakdown of a book about habits, but now I want to get into some of my habits in a segment we call Habits of a Winner. Run it thing. I'm by myself. All right, these other motherfuckers, listen, I'm telling you, these other motherfuckers with podcasts, you don't be seeing it, but they be putting the camera on the other motherfucker, and the motherfuckers be going to the bathroom, doing other shit, checking text messages. I'm here. All right. I got Nemo over there, but he ain't on camera. He can do whatever you want, man. He be doing wild shit over here. You don't even see it, man. I seen him flossing once. I'm like, that's fuck, man. I'm trying to what going on. I'm just joking. I've never seen it. My girl is in the other room. God knows what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm here on camera so sometimes. This is difficult, man. But we making it happen. We making it happen. Shout out to me. All right. This was Nima's idea. I don't know how good it's going to be or how valuable it is, right? But I'm going to break down, but in this video, I'm going to break down my current daily routine, right? And a lot of people ask me what my routine is because I'm a fucking multi-millionaire. I make a lot of money, man. Several multi 8-figure businesses. God damn, man. Money's all over the place. And this is my current daily routine on an average day. Now, sometimes things change if I have to take a flight or something's going on, right? But this is my current daily routine. Now, I posted videos like this before in the past, and every time I post one, someone says, "Hey, man, I thought you did this." "Oh, he said he did this." He's lying. No, dumbass. I keep changing it to optimize, right? I keep trying to improve things, or I move things around based off my life is different than it was before, right? So you may see some differences in other videos that I posted on this topic, just because I'm always making little alterations in order to I'm always making little alterations to the plan in order to get the most out of it, man, to really try to expedite my balling. You know what I'm saying? And anything that I was doing in the past, if I feel as if it may be infringing on my ability to flex on you motherfuckers to ball hard, then I will alter that, you know, because, you know, I'm just trying to make I'm trying to make small improvements on a consistent basis. And oftentimes that means rearranging my daily schedule and just making alterations to it. All right. So it starts off me waking up 4:30, sometimes 5:30, or anytime in between. See, the key is, what I've noticed is that the minimum amount of sleep I need is 7 hours of sleep. Let me rephrase that. I need to be in bed 7 hours. According to my Oura ring, that usually equals about an hour and a half of sleep. I'm sorry, that usually equals about 6.5 hours of sleep. If I get that, I usually feel great. That's usually the optimal amount of sleep for me. Maybe it's not the optimal amount. It's the minimum viable amount. Like anything under that, and I noticed a sharp degradation in performance throughout the day. But I can perform top notch if I'm in bed for 7 hours, right? So depending on when I go to sleep, sometimes the wake up time is 4:30, sometimes it's 5:30. On a very rare occasion, it's 6. But the key is I have to be in bed 7 hours, right? And so I set my alarm for 7 hours after I go to sleep. And that's going to be 4:30, 5:30, occasionally 6, right? When I wake up to an alarm, and then I immediately drink some water mixed with electrolytes. What's the shit I use? Yo, baby, what's the name of that shit? Hold on, I can tell you real quick. I'll pull it up.
What shit?
Yeah, you don't be up that early. You don't know what I be drinking. Hold up. It's this. Hold on. I'm about to show them all of that shit. Hold up. Okay. Give me a second. You guys might find this helpful. This shit. All right. So I wake up and I drink water mixed with this shit, these fucking electrolytes. It has a lot of salt in it and different electrolytes. You need more electrolytes when you do the ketogenic diet. And Huberman said this. Huberman, my favorite science white man, said that you should drink salt water as soon as you wake up. But just regular salt water is not as delicious as this. Obviously, I'm gonna get the watermelon flavor, but that is a genetic predisposition to loving all things watermelon. And I mix that with this shit called ketone A, right? About 2 capsules of this, right? And I mix it in a water bottle the night before. Ketone, these are ketone esters. And man, this shit tastes awful. Man, it tastes awful. It's very hard to describe. I've never drank gasoline, but this tastes the way gasoline smells. Some of you, from what I understand, some of you find that smell delicious, and maybe that's more of a feature to you as opposed to a some of you that's a feature, right? But for me, it's something that I don't really enjoy. But when I mix it with this watermelon salt shit, right, that combination is palatable, right? So I mix this up the night before, and as soon as I wake up, now I'm super drowsy. I'm usually out of it, so I stagger to the fucking refrigerator to water, and I bring it out and I drink that shit immediately. And then this is a new thing I'm doing, right? I put on my spectacles, my glasses, right? Because I wear contacts. Every time you ever see me, I've had no contacts in my eyes. Without these, I'm legally blind. No, it's not that bad. My prescription is like -2. So, but I can't see well without either contact lenses or spectacles, right? So I immediately put on my glasses and I go straight to my office right after drinking that electrolyte ketone combo. And I immediately start engaging in work. I get right into work and cardio simultaneously. So I'm doing cardio on my exercise bike, right? It's a bike that goes to my desk that I can pull up to my desk, right? And so I'm doing exercise, doing cardio. This helps get the blood flowing, helps me wake up, and burns a bunch of calories while I'm working. And again, this happens within 5-10 minutes of me waking up. Right, I immediately get to work, and I will do that until 6 o'clock. Right, so if I wake up at 4, that's an hour and a half of working cardio. If I wake up at 5:30, then it's just 30 minutes of working cardio. But it gets me going. Right, then at 6 a.m. after I got a little bit of work done, got the blood flowing, right, I mix 3 shots of espresso with a pre-made protein shake. I like the kind from Quest, right? The pre-made ones. They don't pay me nothing to say that. They should, though. I'll take the money. Matter of fact, none of the products I mentioned are sponsorship. There's no sponsorship, no paid endorsements. However, if you fucking dorks are listening, I'll take the money. All right. All right, white boys, give me the money. Three shots of espresso mixed with Quest protein, right? And then I start the grooming for the day. So I immediately take a shit. In this order, I take a shit, a shower, cold shower, and I'm in there for 2 to 3 minutes. I'm in the shower for 2 to 3 minutes, and I time it. I time it with my watch, right? I'm in there for 2 to 3 minutes because a lot of the morning shit changes because these are things I've incorporated into my morning routine based off what I heard from my favorite science white man, Andrew Huberman. And cold showers, according to Hube, he said, according to Andy Hube, he said that he said some studies or some shit, man, that it helps boost dopamine by up to 2.5%. Right. So I'm in there. I'm taking a cold shower. Oh, I forgot to mention. This is super important. Immediately after drinking the triple espresso protein shake, I start blasting 2000s gangster rap. Mostly East Coast 2000 gangster rap, right? Mixed with a little bit of Southern 2000 gangster rap. So this will consist of This will consist of a lot of Jay-Z, 50 Cent. You know, a lot of y'all know my favorite song is "I Get Money" by 50 Cent. It's kind of like my theme song. Or you know, T.I., Big Shit Popping, Little Shit Stopping, ball on these niggas. Being broke is not an option. And that's a sentiment I think we can all get behind. You know what I'm saying? I've echoed those sentiments throughout my life. And, you know, Rick Ross, obviously, the boss. Right. So it's like a medley of those guys, you know, and I'm blasting that shit. I'm blasting that shit while I'm shitting. I'm on the toilet, big shit popping, little shit popping. Blasting that shit. And then cold shower. Then I shave everything on my head except my eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? Face, head, you know what I'm saying? Leave the eyebrows alone. Right. And then and then by 6:30, I'm outside doing my sunrise ocean walk. So while the sun is rising around 6:30, it's beautiful, man. It's right on the ocean. And I'm out there, I'm walking. You know, I go for a walk, and it's just a good way to start the day. And of course, Huberman, science white man, said that you got to get sunlight in your eyes or some shit early in the morning. So as soon as the sun's rising, man, I'm out there on the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. And then, you know, every once in a while I see dolphins. You know what I'm saying? I see dolphins, manatees. I see manatees pretty frequently. You know what I'm saying? They come through, they say what's up. And there's the other wildlife around there. There's some peacocks. Every once in a while I see a fucking chicken. Like, I'm like, what is this, the fucking Dominican Republic? Or why are there fucking chickens just walking around? Chickens be up early in Miami, man. You know what I'm saying? And then I see this lizard. There's this one lizard, though. He be in the same spot. He pokes out this little crack. And I named him Lorenzo. I'm really working on earning his trust so I can befriend him, man, and we can maybe go on some adventures together or something. You know, I don't know. But, you know, I work on building my trust with Lorenzo while I'm out there. And then new thing I'm doing is I'll FaceTime my son towards the end of that. It's a new thing. I don't know how long I'm going to do it. But I like it. You know, I say what's up to him. You know what I'm saying? He's in his pajamas usually. You know what I'm saying? He's still in his pajamas. Black Panther pajamas. He said he's super excited. It's dope. All right. And then by 7:30, I do my workout, first workout of the day. Right. And then the new thing is I do my meditation after that. You know, it's just I don't know why I switched it. I used to just go straight into meditation when I woke up. If you watched some of my other videos about this, but I've been switching it then. There's something about going from like being really hype, right? To go from the parasympathetic nervous system to activating your sympathetic nervous system. Something about that I kind of like. And then at 8 p.m., I'm eating sardines, man. It's the first meal of the day. You know what I'm saying? I eat two cans of sardines, and I watch this show on my iPad called Get Up. It's a ESPN show. Mike Greeny, and they talking about football, basketball, baseball, not soccer. That's important to know. They don't talk about soccer there, and I enjoy that. I appreciate that. Unless Messi did some. I don't want to hear about soccer. I do want to hear about Messi, right? Because he plays for Miami, the home team. All right. And then I take all my morning supplements, a ton of them. And then by 8:30, I'm getting to work. I work from 8:30 to 1:30. Right. And then at 1:30, I do my second workout of the day. If you don't count all the cardio I did in the morning, right? It's my second workout of the day. If you don't count the cardio as soon as I wake up and the fucking 30-minute ocean walk, right? This is my second workout. If you got to count on other shit, it's like the third or fourth, right? But it's a workout, weights, 20-minute workout session. Then by 2, I'm working again. And then at 6, I work out again. another 20-minute workout session. And the reason I do that, this is not advice. I'm just telling you what I do, right? I don't have studies and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, Huberman, if you're watching this, man, give him some science, white man science facts about why this is effective. So we can reference this going forward. All right. So think about the average workout. All right. We're going to break this up. Average person's workout is 60 minutes, right? Right. And this is going to be the intensity. This line is going to represent the intensity, right? So the top is like you're going super hard, big Brandon Carter, King Keto workouts. This is like your shitty workout. Oh, I'm sad. I don't know what to do, right? That's that shit, right? Matter of fact, I can do. All right. This is super intense, super bitch, right? So if we break this up into 20-minute increments, right? The traditional workout, boom, soon as you start working out, you're gonna start at like max intensity, and then it's gonna dwindle. The intensity is gonna dwindle throughout. The intensity will dwindle as duration increases, right? Just like a boxer, he's gonna have significantly more energy in round 1 than he has in round 12, right? That's just how shit works. You know what I'm saying? You do something for a long time, the intensity will dwindle, right? So what I do is, instead of doing the less intense parts of the workout, I just only do this part. And then I wait a few hours, let my body recover, chill. And then I do this part. I do this part of the workout 3 times. And I believe it's more effective because I'm doing each workout as max intensity, as opposed to somebody doing 60 minutes. And, this last part is this last part almost sucks. Fucking a lot of you motherfuckers is going through the motions of this part. And I also heard, I saw a podcast where the homie Alex Hermosi was talking to More Plates, More Dates about how when he works out real hard, it's difficult to concentrate on business and get work done after a fucking long ass workout. And More Plates, More Dates echoed those sentiments. I don't have that. That's happening because I still got a lot more in the tank after this, right? So I break it up, I don't know, man. I don't have no data to support any of what I'm saying, but it works for me. I look like me. You look like you. If I was you, I'd listen to me instead of you. All right. And then 6:30, depending on the day, I FaceTime my son. And then we got it scheduled throughout the week. And then at 7, I'm either doing dinner with my girlfriend, Minovia, quisiera reservar una mesa para la cena con mi novia. I speak a little Spanish shit, man. They call me Papi Fuego, and they call me Papi Negro up in Dykeman, Washington Heights. You know what it is. Or I'm doing the Victory Unit, or I'm doing the Victory Talk podcast. You're watching it right now. Unless, of course, you're watching this in the future. You're watching what I did at 7 that day. And then 9:30, you know what I'm saying? I'm showering, prepping for sleep, and or having unprotected sex with my beautiful, sexy girlfriend. And I'm sleep by 9. I'm sleep by 10. Unless, of course, she's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we be up a little late, you know what I'm talking about? Right. But the goal is to be sleep by 10. And then do the whole thing over again. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much my schedule. There's a lot of work in there. And sometimes the work, that's the main, that's the structure. But I'll work around it. Like sometimes I have to take flights, so it changes, it's malleable. Sometimes the work is meetings. Sometimes I got to go somewhere. And if I need to, I'll break up the work and do something else. I work enough where if I have to like move something around, it's cool. But I think the key is to get up early, get that work done immediately. And I try to get my most important shit done as soon as I wake up before I do anything. And that's been serving me well recently. You know what I'm saying? That's been serving me well. Maybe there's something here that you find helpful. Maybe there's, some strategies in there that you can implement in your life. Maybe you thought it was all fucking crazy talk, bullshit, that's cool. But I hope you found this helpful, and let me know if you found it helpful. Leave a comment, talk about what parts or segments of my routine that you're interested in implementing into your daily routine and how it's going to help you advance. If you're really trying to make a lot of money and be a lot more successful, I got a lot of videos that'll show you how to accomplish those goals. You know what I'm saying? You definitely want to check those out. All right. This has been a good victory talk. This has been a good victory talk. Thank you guys. This has been awesome. Shout out. We haven't decided what we're going to call you guys. What did we say, man? It was either we call them the victory talkers,
Victornator.
Oh, the Victinators, right? So he's going to be the Victinators. It's going to be the Victinators, the victory talkers. Those are my top two. The Victinators or victory talkers. I'm gonna let y'all decide. You know what I'm saying? Victinators, mount up. Let's go.